Julian Assange was punished for publishing without fear or favor, Gabriel Shipton. John and Gabriel Shipton, the father and brother of Julian Assange, speak out about his detainment and share the story behind their documentary Ithaca on Tucker Carlson tonight. The family of Julian Assange is speaking out about his detention at Belmarsh, a high-security prison in the UK, the push to extradite him to the US over the publication of classified materials and a new documentary about his case, stressing that his prosecution could have a chilling effect on press freedom. The WikiLeaks founder and Australian citizen faces a sentence of up to 175 years in an American maximum security prison if he is extradited and will face several charges, including espionage. Assange is accused of publishing classified information detailing crimes committed by the U.S. government in the Guantanamo Bay detention camp, Iraq and Afghanistan, and reveals instances in which the CIA engaged in torture and rendition. John and Gabriel Shipton, Assange's father and brother, said he isn't any closer to being released from prison but is receiving more support from the international community. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange denied bail. "We have a rising tide worldwide of support," John Shipton said Thursday on Tucker Carlson Tonight. July 26. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange holds up a copy of Britain's Guardian newspaper during a press conference in London. Shipton added the Australian government has become more vocal in advocating for his son's release. "We characterised the previous election of the government in Australia as an Assange government because each of the successful candidates and the Independents and the Greens stood on a platform of bringing Assange home to Australia," he said. Julian Assange faces possible extradition to U.S. video. Host Tucker Carlson asked Gabriel Shipton who was preventing Assange from being released from prison. "Well, the National Security DOJ are the ones who are behind this prosecution of Julian," he responded. "I think if they would relook at this case and realize that they are prosecuting someone for doing what journalists do every day, publish, or what they should be doing, publishing without fear or favor, then they would realize that this prosecution needs to come to an end and that they should listen to outlets like yours, as well as the New York Times, as well as many other groups, human rights groups, free press groups and First Amendment advocates who are all calling for this prosecution to be dropped because of the threat that it poses to the First Amendment in the USA." Numerous news outlets, including The Guardian, The New York Times, Le Monde, and Der Spiegel, wrote an open letter last year calling for the US to end its prosecution of Assange over concerns about press freedom. London, England, August 11. Supporters gather outside as the High Court hears a U.S. appeal in the extradition of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, at Royal Courts of Justice, Chancery Lane on August 11, 2021 in London, England. Assange has been held in HMP Belmarsh since his conviction on May 1, 2019, for breaching bail conditions. Previously, Judge Vanessa Barra-Itzer denied his extradition to the United States, citing him a suicide risk. He faces charges for hacking computers and violating the country's Espionage Act. The U.S. is appealing the decision today. Amnesty International, one of the largest human rights organizations, strongly condemned Assange's possible extradition to the U.S. Julian Assange's publication of disclosed documents as part of his work with WikiLeaks should not be punishable, as this activity mirrors conduct that investigative journalists undertake regularly in their professional capacity, a press release from the organization read in part. Prosecuting Julian Assange on these charges could have a chilling effect on the right to freedom of expression, leading journalists to self-censor from fear of prosecution. U.S. charges WikiLeaks founder with publishing classified info. John Shipton added that he couldn't understand why the U.S. government would advocate for free speech under the First Amendment but then go after someone who was working as a journalist. Julian Assange's partner Stella Morris, Fourth Left, and WikiLeaks editor-in-chief Kristen Hrafnsson, Fifth Left, with supporters of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, hold placards and take part in a march in London, Saturday, October 23, 2021, ahead of next week's extradition case appeal. "Why they want to truncate their own magnificent gift to humankind has got us beat. But we keep on, and we keep on getting more and more support," he told Carlson. John and Gabriel shared that their documentary about Assange's work and detention, Ithaca, is being screened at 52 locations across the US. So, people can come along, they can get the full story and ask a question of anything they doubt or want to know further, John Shipton said.